Hey everybody, so yeah, we're making carne asada tacos today. So we're gonna dice an onion. We're gonna use this to create the garnish at the end, and I'm cutting it from pole to pole. So from root end to the top, that would be the pole like north. If you look at it as like a globe, that would be like North Pole, South Pole. And now I'm cutting against the grain, so cutting parallel to the equator, and that would create very uniformed onions. And look at that, we have perfectly uniform onions, and we're not going to be cooking these. This is, as I said, would be a garnish, but when we would be cooking or like sauteing them, I would create even cooking times. And I also generally like to use the center of the onions because they're a little bit sweeter and not as rough as in flavor. So the same technique here. I also got the patented claw technique. So basically you curl your thumb inside of your fingers, or curl your four fingers around your thumb to protect it from cutting off your thumb. And yeah, we've all been there. We've cut our thumb before, and it's terrible. Yeah, try to avoid it as much as possible. And you also don't want to bleed all over like your food and stuff. So, and we got the mortar and pestle here. Got some garlic, lots of garlic. Big fan of garlic. Really tasty stuff. So we're just gonna crush that up. So yeah, that is basically the marinade. It's some limes, some garlic flavors, some salt, pepper. Just really simple ingredients. You don't need to go too crazy. But you also, instead of using lime juice, you could probably also substitute that with like a soda if you have it. So like a Sprite. That stuff also works pretty good. And since there's sugar in the soda, that would allow a lot of like caramelization when you actually cook it. So you get a really nice crispy, almost burnt like flavor to it. I mean, don't like crank up the heat and let the sugar burn, but let it cook at a pretty medium temperature, and you'll get a really nice crust with the soda marinade too. So we got a whole bunch of limes, juicing them. We got the cilantro. If you're one of those people who have that trait where cilantro tastes like soap, I feel very sorry for you because cilantro is amazing. I love it. It tastes great, and it just looks good. It's a really nice garnish. But yeah, it's amazing stuff. We got all these bowls to keep it neat, and that's basically the marinade. and garnish. And we have the 2 cutting board technique, because we don't want to cross-contaminate our meat and vegetable boards. So this is just a flank steak. I didn't really know how I wanted it cut, so I just did it. I think some butchers might be cringing right now, but yeah, I just wanted it pretty thin. Yeah, you can see the confusion of right about here. I was like, how do I want this cut? And I was like, is this too thin or is this too thick? But that's why we try things, you know. We figure out if it's good, if it's not, and in the future, if it's not good, we can do something about it and like not do the thing that we didn't like, you know. Got the kosher salt. That's always a winner when seasoning your meat. So salt and pepper, always good. Always a good combo. Get the sugar out. That's gonna create the again earlier with the crust that we want. And we're just gonna dump all of the ingredients for the marinade. And I would recommend marinating this for at least like 15 to 30 minutes. I think I did a little bit less, so I didn't get as flavorful of the steak that I wanted, but it works. Got the black pepper right here. I actually really don't like this design for the pepper shakers. It's really annoying. If you can invest in a really nice pepper mill, I would highly recommend it. But we don't have one, and the Costco one is just really loud, really annoying. Or even better, just use the mortar and pestle. It's more efficient. And you can grind it to whatever fineness you want. I also added some garlic powder, some Gochugaru, really good. One of my favorites. Adds a really good color, really good flavor. A little bit of olive oil. And some soy sauce. Soy sauce is really good to get the umami flavors out. Really good with meats. And then I put some black soy sauce for some reason. A little bit of sugar. And yeah, just get in there, use your hands. Hands are a tool, so utilize them. Yeah, make sure everybody gets touched by that marinade. You don't want any dry spots. We got these tortillas heating up. Nothing too crazy going over here, you know. Use corn, use flour, use whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. We waited a little bit. Got the marinade on there. Now we're gonna got the pan pretty hot. Put some of the marinated steak on there, and yeah, just let the pan do the work. I also like to keep my meats or I like to put them in a clockwise pattern, so I remember which one was first put in, rather than having one in the middle, one on the right side. It just keeps it pretty consistent. It's like, yep, the first one was at what time would that be? Like 9? Yeah, no, 11. The 11 hour. If I was looking at this pan like a clock. So I don't know, I'm kind of weird like that. But do whatever you do. If you use a timer, use a watch, do whatever works. I do a lot of my cooking based on like sight and sound, and yeah, mostly on that, and smell too, but actually a lot on sound. So when you hear the oil and the meat sizzle, that's still an indicator that it's still cooking, and it's not done yet. But when that sizzle starts to go down a little bit, it's generally means that it's about to be done. We got some good color on that side. I don't like to flip it too often. There's two types of people. You can either flip it like every 90 seconds, every 60 to 90 seconds, or just flip it once. I like to do a little bit of both. Sometimes I like to try both of those techniques, or I like to alternate. And yeah, I'm gonna do 90-second flips on this steak, or just the one flip, or on the halfway mark. So yeah, the sizzle has gone down a little bit, getting a little bit more color. I think that was a black soy sauce that did a lot of help to get some good color on there. Also the sugar. So we're gonna let those rest for a little bit. Looks pretty good, eh? Just cutting it up into bite-sized pieces. I'm going with the grain on this. We got the garnish with our perfectly diced onions, very uniform. And we got the cilantro. Add some good flavor, some good color. And don't forget the limes. Hope you enjoyed the video.